Welcome once again to Jazz Lockdown, the program that puts our regular panellists of Pete Long, Alan Barnes and Alex Garnett to the test. You are invited to donate as little as £1 towards each show, which will be equally divided between the contributors, with 50% of the total amount going to Macmillan Cancer Support by following the PayPal link below. Chaired by Alyn Shipton, this episode's special guest is Rory Ingham.
Welcome to a new series of Jazz Lockdown with our regular panellists. We have Alan Barnes.
Hello there.
We have Alex Garnett.
Hello there.
And we have Pete Long.
Live long and prosper.
And for this one, we have a very special guest. We have Mr. Rory Ingham.
Hooray! Oh, just me then.
So, I think we'll... Rory, you're in Wakefield, are you?
That's right.
Right. I think the rest of us are a bit closer to the M25. But anyway, let's get on with it. Introductory questions. Alan, we'll start with you this time. Whose concerto for clarinet and ends on an altissimo C, and who described the piece himself as a pastiche thrown together out of some boogie-woogie blues, clarinet over tom-tom interludes, and a commonplace riff build-up towards the end?
Well, that's a very accurate description of the Artie Shaw clarinet concerto.
Which I saw you playing at the Barbican once.
I did, and I got the top C.
And then you threw the music into the audience.
I did, because that's the last time I ever want to see it again.
They
sent it back.
I saw Artie Shaw's part for that, and the only thing on the part is the bit in the middle where it goes... There's that bit. The only bit that's written. He would have worked the rest of it out on his own.
That's the part I had, Pete.
I was a very short...
Play it.
So, Alan, your second question. Which descendant of a celebrated Italian classical violin maker played harpsichord with Artie Shaw's small groups?
Johnny Guarneri.
Yeah, which is a good one to say at this point in the lockdown. Right, well done. 2 points. Alex, which brothers played alongside one another in the 1972 version of the Horace Silver Quintet?
Oh, it was Michael Brecker, Randy Brecker, I believe.
Correct. Which band have they previously worked in together alongside drummer Billy Cobham?
Oh.
And you're dressed appropriately.
Oh, it was it Pat Metheny?
No.
No! Oh!
Anybody guess?
Pharaoh Sanders.
Dreams.
Ah.
Hence-
Dreams? Oh, do you know what? I was suddenly taken with the stripes there. I was thinking,
Looking like Pharaonic. Anyway, there we are.
thinking how much I look like Pat Metheny without the wig.
Well, there you go.
I thought it was drums.
Pete, whose big band was originally called the Chickasaw Syncopators and was later nicknamed the Performing Seals after their elaborate stage routines? Think of the whole saxophone section doing this together, the trombones all doing this together.
Well, I mean, the band that was known for that was Jimmy Lunsford.
And that's the correct answer.
Right. Good.
Which altoist was featured with the Lunsford Reed section and went on to spend 7 years with Harry James?
Willie Smith.
Correct. Right, Rory. Now you've got the hang of it. 2 questions for you. Which skeletal saxophonist won a major award in 2014, experimented with jam, and has appeared twice on the BBC Proms?
Alexander Bone.
Correct. Do you want to elucidate for any of those who are unaware of the clues there?
Well, what did you say? Experiment, because that's to do with the band we had called Jam Experiment. And Skeletal, he's got a band called Said Skeleton.
I think that will do. The rest is self-explanatory. Oh, and BBC Jazz Young Musician of the Year in 2014.
Yeah, that's
Right. Your second question. We all know that the Village Vanguard is on 7th Avenue in New York, but where's the club with a similar name in Switzerland?
Villars Vanguard, which is in Villars Grion in Switzerland.
Absolutely right. And I believe you played there earlier this year.
Yeah, I played there in January with the they have a house trio there. I did a gig with a house trio.
Oh, right. Days of Wine and Roses.
Yes. Oh, yeah. We played that in every key, and then that was the end of the concert, I think.
Nice.
See how you feel after 42 years of that.
Right.
Barnett, before and after.
Right, we're going on now to the round which is called Old and New Stuff, which I suppose is, like playing Days of Wine and Roses for 40 years. But anyway, Pete, we start with you. Which Allington drummer came to London to get married at the Caxton Hall in 1952, and the wedding party included the entire cast of Porgy and Bess, which was playing at the Stoll Theatre on Kingsway at the time?
I'm going to guess and say Louis Belson.
And you're dead right. Who did he marry for a bonus point?
Mrs. Belson.
Yeah, indeed, but that's not the bonus point I was looking for.
I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
Pearl Bailey.
Pearl Bailey, oh yeah.
Oh, that was it. Oh, blimey.
Which Belson feature was really just a surface affair?
Skin Deep.
Yep. Now, playing Sport in Life in Porgy and Bess in London was Cab Calloway when they went to the wedding party. Which trumpeter associated with Cab and later famous for his quartet recordings was in the pit band of Porgy and Bess until Charles Delaunay helped him escape when the production reached Paris by fixing up a solo tour of France for him?
Oh, man. Well, the famous ones, so it's not Dizzy Gillespie, is it?
Nope.
Mario Bowser.
Nope.
Is it Bill Dillard?
No, he's a man who had a piece named after him, of which the second part of the title was Joins the Cab.
Oof.
Played in quartets, very famous quartet at the Embers.
Oh, man. No, I'm going to have to... I've got... quiz.
Anybody else?
Jonah Jones?
Correct.
Ah.
Well done, Alan. Right, Alex. Which alto player joined Jackie McLean on the album on the album New and Old Gospel, doing something completely different?
Jackie McLean.
Yeah. The clue is that one album, New and Old Gospel.
Is it Phil Woods?
No. Anybody else know?
Ornette Coleman.
And what's he doing, Alan, for the point?
Well, I've often asked myself that. He's playing, isn't he?
He's playing the trumpet.
Oh, right.
Well, he has a trumpet which he brought to the session.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Like he's violin playing and live at the Golden Circle. That's a good one.
Yeah, George Russell wrote a whole piece based on Ornette's violin playing,
Ah.
but don't rush out to buy it.
Right. Hit me with another.
Right, Alex. Jackie McLean appeared in which New York theatre play about drug addiction and was on the original cast album with pianist Freddie Redd?
Oh.
He wasn't the only saxophonist to be in that show.
Oh, God. Yeah, I've got the music of Freddie Redd. It's waiting for, it's like a... Is it called... you want the name of the show?
Yeah.
Is it called The Fix?
Very nearly, but not quite. Who would you go to for the fix?
Oh, the dealer?
I think
No.
that's two goes. Anybody else?
The Connection.
Oh, shiz, that's right.
Yeah, it's the connection. And actually, Mal Waldron came to Europe in the European production of that, playing piano. Which pianist became Jackie McLean's mentor after Jackie met this guy's brother in his stepfather's Harlem record store?
Oh, that was Bud Powell.
Yep. Well done. Right, Rory. For half a point each, name any two of the trombonists who featured in Louis Armstrong's All-Stars.
Jack Teagarden
Yep.
and Pat. I don't know the other.
Well, you get your half point. Anybody else?
Wow.
Anybody else care to? Peter, Mr. Long.
Young.
Sorry, drumming young. Yep. So half point for you. And anybody like to guess any of the others?
Is it Big Chief Russell Moore?
Yep. Half a point for you there.
That's got to be worth more than half a point. It's too obscure.
Al Gray in there?
No, Al Gray wasn't. There was one who played in the final band that came to London. Actually, they didn't. They came to the Batley Variety Club.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
And he played vibes and sang as well.
Tyree Glenn.
Yep. Half a point for you. And there were only 2 others in the entire history of the All-Stars, and I doubt you'd get either of them because I didn't know them, and I thought I knew all about the All-Stars. No, they were Henderson Chambers and Russ Phillips.
Oh, wow.
Right, Rory, with which cornetist did J.J. Johnson have a chain reaction in the 1970s in Japan?
Oh, I don't know.
It's probably one of his most famous albums.
Great. Well, that fills me with. I don't know.
Right, it was Nat Adderley.
Ah,
A Chain Reaction and the Yokohama Concert were both very successful albums. Right, this is another trombone question. With which valve trombonist did Clark Terry have a very successful quintet in the 60s?
Bob Brookmeyer.
Yep, well done. And a bonus point for anyone who cares to jump in first. With which British band leader did Bob and Clark collaborate on a transatlantic album, Being Good Sagittarians?
Johnny Dankworth.
Well done. Do you know what the piece was?
No, I don't.
Something to do with the Zodiac?
Yeah, it was this. Well done. Half a point for you. It was the Zodiac variations.
Oh,
which,
yeah. I see what you mean.
before social distancing was invented, was recorded half in London and half in New York. And they had a big problem because the American studio piano was A443 and the London one was A440. And they discovered that when they got the tapes back.
Jeez.
Right. Alan.
Oh.
Who had a view from the drawbridge in Catania, Sicily in 1992?
I believe it was me, wasn't it?
It was. Well done.
Clarinet and alto, yeah.
Yeah. And who were you playing with? That's not.
That was with Mike Westbrook, who amazingly turned up on a programme this week. Did you see it? It was bad TV from the 80s, and he was reciting a poem about a badger. They misidentified him as Sting.
Well, yes, I can't quite see the resemblance myself, but anyway.
No.
Yeah, there was a bit of one, actually.
Right, so going back to that Italian tour, Alan, who was with you on that Westbrook tour to Italy, who subsequently reset your watches to BST?
Now then, what does that, British Standard Time? Oh, that would be, that's the name of a band which Chris Biscoe ran.
Yep, absolutely. With you, I believe.
Oh, yes, I was in it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With John Haller, Dave Green and Dave Barry, I believe.
That's right, yeah.
So which quartet made the Grammy-winning album, Standard Time, that took in Paris and New Orleans on the way?
Oh, no, I know this. Standard Time. Grammy winning. Oh, I don't know. Sorry.
It's one for Pete.
Is it Winter Marsalis?
Strangely enough, it is. I like to keep the Marsalis questions coming your way. Right. And the reason it's got the, it's Marcus Roberts, Robert Hurst and Jeff Watts, and the repertoire included April in Paris and New Orleans. Right. We're now coming to a new round, which is called Lockdown for a Minute.
Oh,
Just a lockdown.
Just a lot.
Now, this is the Nicholas Parsons Memorial Round, and I was very interested to see when I was looking up the story of this that he had little or no musical talent. And when he provided the voice of the puppet Tex Tucker on Four Feather Falls, which at least 3 of us will remember, he wasn't allowed to do the singing part of the role. So anyway, here are the rules. You talk for 1 minute, and you can be challenged, as in a well-known radio quiz, on repetition, deviation, or hesitation. Ostinatos don't count as repetition. Improvisation doesn't count as deviation. You get a point for a correct challenge, and you get a bonus point if you're speaking when the dinosaur squeaks. Right. Are we ready?
I'm quite disturbed by that. Can we have another look at the dinosaur just quickly? That's a core, blimey.
Yeah. That explains a lot.
It's my grandson's. He left it behind.
I'm not surprised.
Right. Pete, can you go first? Just going to set up the timer here. Can you talk for a minute on the majesty of the blues? Starting now.
The majesty of a blues is an often misquoted entity in that the blues can be many colours as well as majestic. A traditional magic blues would have to go quite slowly and use... Was that somebody butt in?
Not yet.
Keep going.
Hesitation.
All right, you're on.
I don't think you can do hesitation when there's a mysterious noise. Right, Pete, we're going to restart the clock. You can carry on. Not a successful challenge, Rory, but, good try.
An interesting example of a majestic blues is a piece called The Blues by Duke Ellington from the concert Black, Brown and Beige, also subtitled Mauve. And the interesting thing about this particular very majestic
Did you
blues...
say interesting twice?
Yeah, I think I did.
You did. Well done, Alex. Good challenge. You'd like to pick up
And
the
it
theme,
wasn't very
please?
interesting either. You could have got me from DVD.
Right. I thought you were coming back to blues at some point. Anyway, right. Alex, you can talk on the majesty of the blues. You have 17 seconds left.
Well, I did hear that it was been said that amongst quiet circles, the Queen herself, Her Majesty, did like the blues. And in fact, there was quite a few tunes written for the royal family by the great Duke Ellington. And incredibly, one called H.R.
You've got your point. Well done. Right. Now we've got the hang of it.
So weird. It's so weird.
It's so weird.
We've got another round coming up, another one coming up. Alan, could you talk, please, on the subject of ornithology for a minute, starting now?
Ornithology is, of course, on the face of it, the study of birds for people who watch them. Nonsense.
Now, do we go for the shout or the whistle? I think technically we go for Pete and the instrument thing.
I deployed my instrument of interruption. Thank you.
What
Yes.
is it?
Right. So, Pete, can you pick up? You have 51 seconds left to talk on this subject. Right. Off you go now.
Ornithology is a contrafact written on the harmonic structure of an old jazz standard called How High the Moon by a Kansas City alto saxophone player called Charles Christopher Parker Jr. It was written possibly in 1944.
Challenge from Alex.
Charlie Parker's never had an official name as Christopher. It was just Charles Parker. Christopher was self-appointed.
Was it?
So that's deviation from the truth then, is that right?
I bow to your glorious quilted anorak. No wonder you got awarded that by Prince Philip. There is no wonder. You worked for it.
Right, Alex, you can carry on. So if you'd like to talk on the subject of ornithology, you have 34 seconds starting now.
Ornithology, in fact, is one of the many contrafacts that Charlie Parker, the amazing saxophone player...
Charlie Parker Jr.
I'd have allowed that for hesitation, but not for juniorism. Right, Alex, keep going now.
That Charlie Parker Jr. produced over his years. Incredibly, he was able to produce a lot of tunes that were based on fantastic old standards, but most of the chord structures that he produced...
Sorry, it was produced and produced. I got overexcited.
Yeah, well done, Alan. You got a successful challenge. You have 15 seconds left.
I thought it was a successful challenge.
It was.
Was it?
Yeah, you produced a good one. Right.
All right. Okay.
Starting, 15 seconds starting now.
It's not the only tune that Charles Parker Jr. wrote over the chords of other tunes. Other ones that spring to mind are...
Air?
Too much erring, do you think?
Now, I was going to mention Erigin.
Okay, cool.
I think Alex gets the challenge there, though I'd have also gone for a repetition, but never mind. Let's go on. Alex, you've got 6 seconds starting now.
Of course, the title ornithology refers to many of the names that were given to Charlie Parker as means of a nickname, including bird or yardbird.
Right. That's twice. You managed to get the bonus point for speaking
I'm a goal hanger.
Right. Rory, It's your turn now to see if you can talk for a minute uninterrupted. And your topic is slipping and sliding.
Oh.
Are you ready? Starting now.
Well, slipping and sliding can only refer to the amazing instrument that was once created called the trombone, which...
Yes.
It can't only refer to that. It can refer to sliding down a mountain in a stream of mud.
Okay.
So is that repetition or deviation or hesitation?
It's deviation, isn't it? No, it's...
Is it deviation? No, it's just a false... It's a deviation from the truth.
Statement. We've had false statements challenged already in this.
Yeah,
It's a deviation from the truth.
Yeah.
Tritone deviation.
I'll just get on the Ouija to Nicholas and see what he says.
I think we'll allow this as a successful deviation challenge on the grounds that you could be sliding downhill. Alan, if you'd like to carry on slipping and sliding for us, starting now.
Slipping and sliding is pretty much a good description of what trombonists do.
Right, I think that's a dead heat between Rory and Pete, but it'd be nice to Rory. Let's give it back to Rory for a successful challenge.
Okay.
Right, starting now.
Okay, so slipping and sliding can refer to many, many things, one of which is the trombone, another of which is skiing.
Pete?
Pardon?
Repetition of many.
Yep. It's a difficult one, but absolutely right.
Referee.
On we go. 35 seconds starting now.
Slipping and sliding, as has already been expounded by my colleagues on the panel, is the... bugger.
That's a
I know, sorry.
giant hesitation. And I'm not sure whether it was Alan's squeak or Rory's twang that got there first.
We can bang, my lawyers.
Tweak and twang. Right, so I think let's go back to Rory. Okay, carry on.
Okay. Slipping and sliding could also refer to as being a kid when you go out in the mud and you mess around playing football. I used to play football for 9 years as a child, sliding around.
Thank you, Alan. Got that challenge. What was it?
Definition of football.
Yep. Well done. You have 9 seconds starting now.
To keep your slide moving very well up and down, you have to spray it from a little bottle, which contains a mysterious concoction, which only trombone...
He got it.
Well done. Point for you for that. Right. Now, I'm sure everybody is going to be delighted to know that we've come to the final thing. So, Alex, remembering one or two things that I've seen on Facebook, your topic is called What You Might See After the Gig.
Ah, yes.
Right?
I've got to
Starting
talk about what you might see.
after the gig, starting now.
Working at the Late Show at Ronnie's has many benefits, especially the experiences of leaving the club after hours, walking back down the amazing streets, historical roads of Soho, and coming across some fantastic works of urban art, one of which I witnessed after a night out that turned my stomach, a broken bin bag containing entrails and many parts of various animals taken from the local markets and probably thrown out in the trash by all the restaurants. One in particular took me by surprise. It was a whole leg from a pig, and on the end of it, a big black hoof, smelling pretty rancid, to be honest with you. I felt sick to my stomach.
Alan?
Don't pigs have trotters rather than hooves?
They do.
Technically, that's correct. Right, that's
Is it not a hoof called a trotter?
No, that's a leg variation.
Absolutely not.
Right, that could officially be a Del Boy challenge, but anyway, we're going to move on. Alan, if you could talk about what you might see after the gig, you have 9 seconds. Starting now.
Well, when I used to work at the Pizza Express every Monday night, I often saw a pizza fly past the back of my...
Oh, Pete.
Pizza Express is a chain of shops. A pizza is something you eat.
I know, but it's still the word pizza. I know one's a noun and one's a trade name, but it's still the same word.
It is actually. Pizza's flying past and Pizza Expresses. Pete, you have got 1 second to talk about this. Starting now.
Often after
Never cut off
Hesitation,
its time
surely.
so effectively. Right, that is the end of the squeaky round.
Oh,
we now
judgment ran quite high there, didn't it?
I couldn't tell you about the worst one that I saw.
I read about that online.
Yeah, that was on a good day, was it, Alex?
Right, this is the moment when we have a round just for our guest. So he's the one who has to answer all the questions. And in the last series, we had equal firsts with 10 from 2 of our guests. So you've got to see if you can get a full house of 10. So starting now, which con artist with 2 N's is the son of a pianist who worked with the Squadronaires, Ted Heath, and the Echoes of Ellington?
Is he alive?
Yes. Well, he is. I think we should. Should we throw this open? Anybody else want to go? Alex?
Andy Flaxman.
No.
Mike
The answer is
Innes.
Mike Innes. Well done, Alan.
Well done.
Right.
Innes, Mike Innes.
Right.
Mike Innes.
Rory, back to you and your round. What was the nickname of Duke Ellington's trombonist, Joe Nanton?
I do know this. Tricky Sam Nanton. Is that
Tricky Sam, you got there in the end. Well done. What's his pioneering speciality?
What's say again?
What was his pioneering speciality? Think jungle.
A bit of jumping from tree to tree. I don't know.
Alex.
Playing the plunger mute with a pixie.
Yep.
Oh.
The talking trombone.
Yeah. Right. Which ballad was Bill Watrous most associated with, Rory? Also the title of one of his albums.
Oh, Stardust?
No, Alex?
Is it The More I See You?
No.
It's not a ballad, but no, in that case, it's not Emily, is it?
No. It's A Time for Love.
Oh.
Who did Watrous cite as his favourite trombonist, whose surname was also the name of a record company? And you ought to know this one in particular, Rory,
Oh.
being a West Coast finalist and all that.
Can you just repeat the question once more, please?
Who did Watrous cite as his favourite trombonist?
Oh, it'll be Carl Fontana.
Correct.
Oh.
Which multi-award-winning British trombonist formed the group known as the Wrath Pack?
That's Dennis Rollins.
Nope.
No, is it Mark Nightingale?
It is Mark Nightingale. I'll give you a half.
I was torn.
Who joined Mark on a tribute album to J&K?
Alistair White.
Well done. Which German trombonist developed a high level of multiphonics, singing and playing simultaneously?
Marshall. No.
German?
Oh, German. Niels. Niels. Niels.
Not the one I'm looking for.
Oh.
I know the guy. I can't think of his bloody name.
It's not Bart Van. No, he's not German.
No. Pete?
Is it Albert Mangelsdorf?
It is.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yes, well done.
Great name.
It wasn't Bent Slide.
He's Swedish.
Of course.
Which Australian trombonist and brass virtuoso often flies to his gigs in his own plane?
Is he only a trombonist?
No.
Oh,
It's a brass
oh,
virtuoso.
oh.
James Morrison. Well done. Which trombonist won an MBE in 2018 for his services to music? And if you think back 6 questions, you'll probably get the answer.
Mark Nightingale. No.
No.
A British. Mike Innes. No.
No. It was Dennis Rollins.
Oh, Dennis. Of course, it's Dennis. Ah.
Anyway, so that's the end of it. You scored a magnificent 4.5. 4.5. So that's the score to beat for everybody else in this part of the series. My favourite Dennis Rollins story was that when he was working with Maceo Parker down at the Bath Jazz Festival, and they'd just gone on stage, and Maceo said, and on trombone we have a man who's so funky, he even has his own band, Dennis Rollins, at which point everybody else burst out laughing. Anyway, it was a great one to see. Right, we have got to the quickfire round. This is the chance for everyone to make up their points. At the moment, we have Pete and Alan vying for first position. We have Alex in a very strong third, and Rory taking up the rear very elegantly with perhaps the best hairdo amongst us. Right, here we go. Virus Called the Blues was a 25-minute spoof documentary about a day in the life of which British guitarist and anarchical figure?
David Bailey.
No.
Did you say Virus the Blues?
Virus Called the Blues was the name of the documentary, a spoof about a day in the life of which British anarchical guitarist?
Oh.
His uncle was Bishop of Durham, if that's any help.
Oh.
He used to have a band.
Holdsworth.
No, he used to have a band called the Voice of God Collective.
Billy Jenkins.
Yes, well done. As well as his work with Jenkins, bassist Thad Kelly has been a member of which quartet for over 2 decades?
Partisans.
Yep, well done. The drummer with Partisans has a brother who recently recorded with his boss Branford Marsalis. Who's that?
Joey Capasso.
Alex was in there first with the tinkle. Right, which British bassist has also been a member of that band, Partisans?
Ollie Hayhurst.
Sorry, I'm missing my own question. Was also a member of the Branford Marsalis band. British bassist.
Is it Orlando LaFleming?
It is indeed. Yeah, sorry, I messed up the question there. Before coming to the Royal Academy of Music, Orlando was successful in which other field?
He was a spin bowler for Middlesex County Cricket.
Wrong county, but he was indeed...
beg your pardon. A junior. He was a junior, yeah.
He played professional cricket for Devon, whom he represented in 24 minor counties matches and 2 NatWest Trophy games. But anyway, cricket will do. That will do. Thank you. Which cricket club in Harlow has been promoting jazz since 2003?
Marigolds.
Yep. Well done, Alan.
Yes, of course.
Who recorded an album in 1966 called Black Marigolds?
Is that sort of rubber gloves thing?
They were yellow ones, weren't they?
Sure, you can get them in black.
Was it? Who was on? Which musician? British musician.
British musician.
Oh, it's got to be something like Neil Ardley.
No, it had Trevor Tompkins, Dave Green, Ian Carr.
It wasn't Don Rendell, was it?
No, it wasn't.
It was Michael Garrick then.
Michael Garrick. Well done. Garrick had 6 children. Which of them became a trumpeter?
Gabriel.
Yeah, Alan was in there first. Pianist Gabriel Latchin released his 2nd album last year and he's had more than 4 million streams. What's the title of the album?
Oh, I do know. Is it a standard song, the title?
Sort of. No, I don't think... I wouldn't say it's a standard song. You'll probably tell me I'm wrong now.
No. I wouldn't risk that.
I know, Gabriel. I can't remember the name of the record. No.
It's called The Moon and I.
Ah.
Gabriel's been the musical director for a show called Let There Be Love with Claire Martin and which vocalist cum tenor player?
Ray Gelato. Oh, so.
I think the bottom line got that absolutely at the same time. Right, gelato means ice cream in Italian, so which band leader had a huge hit with ice cream in 1955 and had to play it at almost every gig thereafter?
Chris Barber.
Yep. Since Barber's recent retirement, who's now the MD and band leader of the big Chris Barber band?
Bob Hunt.
Yep.
Is he?
Is he? Is he still...
Stay with trombonist. In which country did Kai Winding spend the first 14 years of his life before moving to New York in 1934?
Sweden.
Germany.
Not Sweden.
France?
No. Pete,
Germany.
No.
No, not Germany.
No.
Germany.
I'll put you out of your misery. It was
Del
Denmark.
Fuego. Oh, Denmark.
Denmark.
Oh, Adam's surrounded.
Which of Jimmy Nepper's many band leaders punched him on 2 occasions, once breaking a tooth and ruining his embouchure for the next 2 years?
Charles Mingus.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, if you hadn't blown the thing, you'd have been in there first, Rory, so I'm going to give you the point for that.
I was going to say Charles Mingus, I promise.
Returning to Bob Hunt, he was formerly a member of the Pasadena Roof Orchestra. Who founded that band in 1969?
John Arthey.
Yep, all done. Arthey played bass and sousaphone in the band. In which part of the jazz world, notably in street parades, is the sousaphone still commonly associated?
New Orleans.
Yep. What's a frequent name for the New Orleans style of drumming?
Second line.
Yeah, I think Alex got that one. Which New Orleans drummer worked with Wynton Marsalis from 1988 and had most recently been a member of the Ahmad Jamal Quartet?
Herland Riley.
Yep, all done.
Good.
Wynton and Branford arrived on the world stage scene with Art Blakey's Jazz Messenger following a solo contract with CBS Records. Who played on the first of Branford's 4 albums and 4 of Wynton's first 5 albums?
Kenny Kirkland.
Yep, that's correct. After Kirkland's death in 1998, who replaced him in Sting's band?
Jason Rebello.
Yep, well done. In 2016, Jason won both Best Album and Best Pianist in the British Jazz Awards. What was the album called?
In 2016?
Yep.
I don't know.
No, that's not the right answer.
You got excited.
Anybody know Jason's 2016 album? She actually appeared on Jazz Now on Radio 3 playing a selection from.
Don't know.
No.
It's called Held.
I was thinking of A Clearer View, which was like so far away.
Can anyone name any of the other musicians featured on that recording?
Ian Bellamy.
Nope, it was a solo recording. It's just Jason.
Oh, you got me there, Alan.
Solo jazz is the name given to competitive Lindy hoppers dancing the style which grew up in Harlem and incorporates Charleston and jazz tap amongst other styles. Which Baltimore hoofer made England his home from 1963 onwards?
Oh, Christ. Will Gaines.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got it. I couldn't get that. Yeah. Remember that?
Gaines worked at the Cotton Club in the late 50s with Cab Calloway. Cab started playing there in 1930. What was the name of his million-selling hit the following year, 1931?
Minnie the Moocher.
I think everybody got a point for that one. Right. Selling over 1 million copies back then. What was a moocher?
Drug
Drug
taker.
addict.
Do we know what a moocher was?
Drug addict.
Drug addict, yeah.
No, actually, somebody who lived off others without giving anything back in return,
Ah,
according to one of those American dictionaries that...
we should have got that.
Like a gold digger. Is it a gold digger? That vibe, is it? Yeah.
that kind of thing. Which bebop jazz composition mentions a mooch?
Mooch.
Yeah, I think I gave that one away, didn't I? But yes,
Yeah.
Alex got in that one first. Right, finally, which chord sequence did Charlie Parker base that composition upon?
I've got rhythm.
Alex, I think you were there first with that one. Right. This is an interesting turn up to the book.
What's that?
So, in 4th place, we have Rory, who has got 8 points.
Ah,
In 3rd place, we have Pete, who has got 12 points. In 2nd place, we have Alex, who has got 18.5 points.
Oh, well done.
And in top place, we have Mr. Barnes, who has 25 points.
A record.
yeah.
So there we go. Thanks, everybody, for being in this edition of Jazz Lockdown. Especially thanks to Rory for being our guest.
Thanks very much for having me.
And, yeah, well done. And thanks to our regular panel, Pete Long, Alex Garnett, and today's winner, Alan Barnes.
Bye-bye.
I'm Alyn Shipton, and I'll see you with the next edition in a few days' time. Thanks very much for watching. And thanks all of you who've donated both to the Musicians' Chocolate Fund and also to Macmillan Cancer Support. Goodbye for now.
Bye-bye.
That was Jazz Lockdown, a series of programs devised by Clark Tracey and presented by Alyn Shipton. with Pete Long, Alan Barnes and Alex Garnett, with special guest Rory Ingham. You are invited to donate as little as £1 towards each show, which will be equally divided between the contributors, with 50% of the total amount going to Macmillan Cancer Support by following the PayPal link below. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to your company next time.